We are Mous.
And this is the story of how we went from a failed business,
Absolutely mortifying.
losing our entire life savings,
I was
and living with no money in China,
Now working in this porter cabin to make sure ends meet.
to shipping over $100 million worth of accessories and partnering with Google
and supplying the
Mercedes-AMG PETRONAS Formula 1 team.
Tell me where it all started.
Hello, here we go. I'm James, CEO and co-founder of Mous. In 2014, I went to an event to get funding, and at the event, someone burst through the doors with a 3D printed phone case saying,
I've got a product, I need someone to come and help me make it happen.
what I found quite interesting is that he literally stood up in front of everyone.
I just got inundated with people, and of course one of them was JG.
Loads of people doing apps and loads of people doing the Uber of cat sitting or something weird. And he actually had something.
A pretty charming guy, to be fair. I don't know what happened, but
So we needed a brand. So Lucy, who I lived with at uni, worked on the branding and became a co-founder.
Together, they created the first ever mouse case, a phone case to wind up your headphones. They spent a year investing all their time, energy, and life savings into the project. But when shipped,
we failed.
Customers received their product and then the cases fell apart.
and when Apple removed the headphone jack, they literally lost everything.
It was great. When you hear other entrepreneurial stories, don't you find they sound weirdly perfect? Like they had this big vision, they did yoga, they woke up really early, and then bam, they're a millionaire. Well, for us, completely different story. It was pretty tough. All the investment, all the hard work, all the learnings seemed to go away.
Starting a business can be one of the hardest things you can do, but that wasn't going to stop them.
And he just went, well, you gotta go to China, haven't you?
Because it was the best place to manufacture at the time, and they wanted to learn everything they could.
We knew we wanted to be more than a phone case company. We wanted to be a tech accessory brand. So I recommended that we got rid of the case and Mous was born.
Facebook, Google, BBC, all banned. There was nothing to do. So they just worked insanely hard. 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, for months on end.
Unlike our competitors, we were obsessed with learning how to mass manufacture.
Whenever you see anyone glamorize entrepreneurship, please show them this.
I needed to get back to the UK, so we got Josh's mate involved, Will, who moved to China so I could go back to the UK.
I saw sort of opportunity with a smart group of people doing something exciting, made the decision to kind of change the life really. I quite quickly found myself out in China. So.
Up until this point, we'd focused on being unique. There was 30,000 cases you could get on Amazon, and we wanted to stand out.
No one had ever thought about why a phone breaks. It breaks the most because the phone pops out of the case and the screen hits the floor, right? So when it lands like face plants, or when it bounces and the bit of the phone comes out and then it catches an edge. Like no one had ever thought about that, it seemed, anyway.
We switched our strategy and decided, really out of fear of failing again, we were going to do everything to our best ability. So the best performance, the best functionality, the best style, and that's the principles of Mous today.
Whether it's our backpacks, wireless chargers, mounts and accessories, or phone cases, we are never willing to compromise on product development. We aim to push the performance of products, to create accessories that empower people to be their best, and prove it.
Absolutely fine.
Our first product with this ethos was Limitless 1.0.
Josh and I had some really heated arguments about what made the most protective phone case. We argued about every element of the case. The geometries, the thickness, the manufacturing methods, the materials.
I think you need those battles. If you're not fighting with someone, I'd be worried, because that means that no one's challenging you on your logic and what you're doing in your pathway.
So we made a case that had shock-absorbing materials in, aeroshock, and a very stiff case, and also stiffer materials like aramid fibre to make them extra stiff. And it was really important that we got a case that was good enough that we could throw in front of the public to show just how good our cases were. So after years of iterating and living in China, we finally had a case that we could get behind. Limitless 1.0. This was our last chance. We owed our factories 150k for tooling and our first order. We flew back to the UK to crowdfund pre-orders. We hired a drone and a 45-foot crane
I'm starting to have second thoughts about this.
to show just how protective our cases were. I was bricking it. We hadn't thrown a phone from this high. I was on top of a 45-foot crane and I was about to let go of my iPhone 7. And it actually survived. It was completely unscathed. We had made an awesome product and we were absolutely jacked. Indiegogo predicted we'd get 50,000 in pre-orders. We submitted the video, built the hype, and it flopped.
He just gave me a phone call and I picked up and he just was like, I think this is it. I think it's the end of the business. I think this is actually where the business ends. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Along the journey, for whatever reason, I'd been filming everything that we did. I was just like, that's the story.
And we didn't give up. We worked on the video, we changed the marketing, and it started to work. The notifications started pinging as people were pre-ordering the phone case. 9k to 100k to 500,000, and finished raising 2.5 million in pre-orders. That's more than 50,000 people pre-ordering a phone case. We had made the most successful phone case campaign in history. We couldn't believe it.
With the iPhone 8, Apple introduced wireless charging, so we decided to redesign our entire case ecosystem.
When Apple launched wireless charging in the iPhone 8, we launched our own ecosystem, Autoline. This is way before MagSafe. We moved from using steel plates in the case to magnets. Magnets would have a much stronger hold and line up wireless charging coils, so you could charge more effectively. Less heat, faster wireless charging, and no mischarges.
People loved the new ecosystem, so we got a $2 million loan to purchase loads of stock for the iPhone X launch.
Walked out, put it in our cases, and started throwing it in front of all of the crowds and of all the press.
So there was a guy in the crowd and he grabbed the phone off James and said, let me throw it. And he lobbed it up in the air and it crashed back down onto the ground. Sound was horrendous. There was press everywhere, cameras. I was thinking this could be brand suicide if this phone screen cracked. Thankfully, it was absolutely fine. These are the moments where you go, we've actually got a really good product here, and these are real stunts that really do work.
We edited a quick video so we had it on the day. We decided that I was going to cycle to a Facebook channel, Viral Thread, and give a phone and a USB stick to the founder and say, if you like the footage, you can keep the iPhone. He loved the footage. We got millions of views and sales went nuts. And we wanted to scale it even more. So we used my personal credit cards, scaling marketing spend. I stayed up for about 48 hours switching over my credit cards as they hit the limit. Let's see what happens next.
We were so psyched until we realized Apple had changed the compass position, and suddenly,
I then went on a date and can remember trying to find the location, and I started getting lost, and I was thinking, why is this happening? Is this something to do with the case? I think I took off the case and then was fine. So I thought, are the magnets messing up the compass? Has Apple moved the compass? If Apple had moved the compass, could we ship these cases? No, because everyone would get lost. All of our money was in the stock, and the cases got you lost. The team looked at cutting out the magnet above the compass in each case and repairing them. They looked at heating up the magnet so it'd lose its magnetic pull. But all of this damaged the cases.
We ended up using the same process that makes magnets to demagnetize the one magnet. That was like, I think we all pat ourselves on the back on that, yeah.
They now needed to do it for 10,000 cases. But eventually, one by one, we did it.
this didn't break us. It only pushed us to innovate even more.
They'd literally resurrected Mous from the dead. We literally thought we were doomed. The next few years were wild.
Here goes! Oh my God! We're on Google's roof.
Since then, we've launched our most advanced, our most colourful, and our thinnest phone cases ever. We've partnered with Google to make super thin cases in collaboration with the official designers of the Google Pixel 8. And we've engineered a 38-part mechanical mounting ecosystem that allows you to mount your phone to your bike and basically anything, and partnered with world-famous athletes just to prove how well it works. We've designed our most advanced wireless charging ecosystem ever with official Apple technology and an inbuilt heatsink for up to 2 times faster charging. And probably most excitingly, launched our Mous backpack range. We took everything we'd learned over the years, protecting phones and laptops, designed to be seriously functional, engineered with aerofoam technology, a non-Newtonian fluid made up of a series of intelligent hydrogen bonds, which form and break on impact to absorb the energy which would otherwise hit your device. And they've quickly become some of our best-selling products. We honestly can't believe the success. If you had told James when he was living with no money in China and nearly going bankrupt that one day you'll partner with Google, have a successful backpack range and sell over $100 million of product, I think he might have collapsed. And honestly, we have to thank all of you for making this happen. Whether you're one of the 2 million people who have bought our products or one of the 6,000 that have invested and become shareholders, none of this would be possible without our incredible community and support. It has been a hard but incredible journey so far, but really this feels like we're only at the start.
Perfect.
We've just launched the Mous Travel Backpack, which we believe is our most functional backpack ever. The Mous Active Backpack for those that train hard but commute smart. Designed to perfectly blend water resistance, protection, and active organization. And now, backpacks built with the Mercedes-AMG PETRONAS Formula 1 team, made from 840D ballistic nylon, a material born from military innovation for extreme demands. And next year, we're planning our biggest launch for years, introducing Mous Luggage, partnering with materials experts to create luggage made from a woven composite that we thermoform into extremely lightweight shells, with a material that has twice the stiffness to weight ratio to polycarbonate and over 6 times the impact resistance, but still durable enough to survive this. We want Mous to become a household name in this space. We want Mous to create more products in more categories that empower you to be at your best and prove it to you. We promise we will never stop pushing the boundaries of product development because we are Mous. And we want you to live without limits.
That sounded absolutely crazy.